Philadelphia is known for all types and styles of homes. Few as memorable as this one, Ardrossan. You might describe it as the embodiment of the Gilded Age, an era of opulence. Today, at a time when the quest for owning a home of your own is increasingly elusive, Lee Cowan shows us one solution almost anyone can find right in your own backyard.
This is insane.
When the Alameda fire tore through the Rogue Valley in southern Oregon back in 2020, it took thousands of homes with it. The result wasn't just a moonscape, but a housing crisis on top of an already tight rental market. Artist and contractor Jacob Fry and his wife Elise,
hi, horsies,
were spared the flames, but not the desire to help. They had to do something. So they took out a loan to build 2 small rental units in their own yard.
So this was never about getting extra income or...
It was more about the community and needing infill housing for people that had been displaced. Really was the main thing.
They're called ADUs, Accessory Dwelling Units, small, fully functional secondary homes located on the same property as the main home, usually in the backyard. They've been called granny flats, carriage houses, or mother-in-law suites.
Start planning your ADU today.
A wave of reforms have made it faster, cheaper, and in theory anyway, legally simpler to add these ADUs almost anywhere. In California, at least 3 modest-sized units are now allowed on a single-family lot. Now, they can't be used as short-term rentals, so no Airbnb-ing. The law allows for only long-term tenants, and it's become a booming industry.
It's had more impact than any other housing law in the last 10, 12 years.
In what way?
Well, there are 82,000 building permits right now in California.
82,000?
Yeah.
Dana Cuff, professor of architecture and urban design at UCLA, helped push the original legislation through. We met her in her ADU.
So where we're sitting used to be your backyard.
That's right.
All this used to be your
That's
backyard.
right. There was kind of a half-dead citrus tree, probably right here, and a tree house for our kids. And, we did lose something in building the house, but we gained a lot more.
They rent their original home to mostly young tenants just starting out, and they live in the ADU, designed by her husband to fit like a Tetris piece onto their long, skinny lot.
Sprawl has hit the wall now, so you can't keep going out. So then, the beauty of that from an environmental and a housing and an urban perspective is that then you start building back in.
It will come as no surprise when you're talking about building in backyards, there are plenty of not in my backyard critics.
This is not granny flats. This is not helping people.
Some argue parking, sewer, garbage, the infrastructure designed for single-family homes, is being stretched too thin. But in the aftermath of those Oregon fires, the Frys saw an opportunity.
Yeah. They say, if you want to test your marriage, buy IKEA furniture, build an ADU.
It worked out. The Frys' marriage survived, and so did the rental income from the ADUs. In fact, the buildings have almost paid for themselves, even though they continue to rent them at well below market value.
We want things to be affordable, so that we can get people in that might not otherwise be able to get a decent situation with a decent landlord.
Both the tenants that live here now are young newlyweds, they're in their early 20s and they both just got married.
If this hadn't been an option for you, where do you think you guys would have been?
Probably still at our parents' houses.
It's compact living to be sure, but if you design an ADU right, it can feel much bigger than it sounds.
Make it nice.
Jared Weber, Katriana Bowser-Smith, and their 9-month-old daughter Miller have been living in these 400 square feet, happily, for nearly 3 years now.
We've tried to look at other places just to even see what there is still on the market, and there's nothing comparable to what we have.
So it's small, but it's enough.
It's perfect.
It's perfect, yeah.
So I don't feel cramped at all. I feel like I have a lot of space for one old lady.
Down the coast in Los Angeles, 72-year-old Mona Field turned her garage into a 2-bedroom ADU.
So were you using your garage before?
The garage was everybody and their brother's storage. Everywhere I look, I see green, so I like that.
But she didn't build the ADU for tenants. She built it for herself.
I knew I did not want to stay, aging in a big house by myself. And there's Miss Ruth.
The ADU was her retirement home, which allowed her to offer her house as affordable housing for her daughter.
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand if you're having fun.
And her family.
Do you want to help, baby?
Nadine Levyfield, her husband, Charlie Marshak, and their 2 small kids.
What is that?
A microphone.
But there was still a question, one asked by almost everyone in the ADU space.
Even though we had separate spaces, would we be able to, cohabitate on the same property in a functional way?
The answer, for them anyway, has been a resounding yes.
We have regular standing dinners with my mom and the kids. My mom helps with childcare. We spend time together. We say, hey, do you want to join us for a stroller walk?
Which is really a gift.
It's amazing. We're so grateful.
Oh, there you are. Well, now you're getting the fun part.
It used to be a home in the suburbs with a white picket fence and 2-car garage was all anyone would want. Today, people need housing more than cars, and backyard barbecues might not need an entire backyard. They may not be for everyone, but these days, every square foot matters. ADUs offer a different lifestyle for a different age.
We have to start imagining new ways of living together well